Hey Technology Advice viewers, thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about what you should look for in an Agile project management dashboard. So that's a long series of words, and basically what we mean is a central module where you can house all your different analytics, all your different reports within your project management software. So we know dashboards are great for getting quick overviews of different types of information for a lot of different products. They're great for sharing information with executives, different product owners, or other different stakeholders. So what should you look for? The first thing you should look for are burn down charts and burn up charts. Burn down charts, pretty classic Agile fare. They have an XY axis with X representing time, Y representing work. There are two descending lines. One is estimated work, which will stay constant, and the other is work that you have left, which will fluctuate, and depending on whether it's above or below the estimated work line, will show whether you're behind on the project or you're pacing. Burn up charts, a little bit different concept. Again, XY axis, two lines, except this time they're ascending. And instead of estimated work, you'll have project scope and then work you've completed. So burn up charts are really nice for telling why projects are either falling behind or why you're ahead. So are you falling behind because the work isn't getting accomplished fast enough, or are you falling behind because the project scope keeps changing because of different requirements? So burn down, burn up charts, very nice to look at on an individual project basis. Then we have velocity. So while the other two are charts, velocity is a numerical measure of the way that you're pacing through this particular sprint. So it's a sum of the different points you accrue from completing user stories. And that's compared against an average of the points you have from the past 3 sprints. So it's a relative metric because it assumes that user stories are going to remain the same points throughout sprints. So it may not always be the most accurate, but it is nice from a relative standpoint. It's a pretty good measurement. So burn down charts, burn up charts, velocity, those are both good at looking at individual projects. If you want to look at all your projects, you're going to need a project snapshot. Now, project snapshots are often showed as pie charts that represent different projects, which are not ideal. I actually like it when they're just simple line graphs that show percent complete, and whether that's on an XY axis relative to milestones, or whether it's just in a column that has the percentage complete in a row next to the name of the project. I think those are much better than pie charts. And so project snapshots are really, really great for getting big views, like I said, of your portfolio. And these are the ones that you're probably going to use a lot to convey information to different stakeholders. So finally, we have time tracking. Time tracking is pretty self-explanatory. Just make sure it's there. What you want to look for is per person time tracking. So that way you can use the time that it takes to complete each user story to calculate your sprints. Time tracking we know is important for project management because we use it to build a bunch of other metrics. Again, just make sure it's there. You're going to want it. So this is by no means an exhaustive list. There are plenty of other reports you could have in an Agile dashboard, but these are some basics that you should look for. And so if you see a product that doesn't have these, you may want to look for something else. You may want to make sure that if it doesn't have these, that you can work with that. It's just kind of a basic way to vet a project and make sure that it's going to do what you need to. That would be anything else. Are there any other metrics you'd like to see? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, thanks for joining me.